Music in the 1960s is distinguished from earlier music because it began to show social and political messages about feminism, civil rights, and war. The movement of feminism in the 1960s, which is actually thought of as the second wave of the feminist movement, brought out liberated female artists. These artists usually were making folk-style music. Some famous female folk artists at the time were Judy Collins, Joan Baez, Joni Mitchell, Carole King, and Janis Joplin. Although their music wasn't particularly feminist, they were not portrayed in a sexual manner and not made up like more mainstream female artists were at the time. Examples of these artists are the Ronettes, the Shangri-Las, and the Crystals. These girl groups all were carefully made up to serve certain novelty images, whether it be a bad girl image or literally a dumb girl image, like singer Ginny Ornell, who had songs called I Wish I Knew What Dress to Wear and Dumbhead.
I wish I knew what dress to wear and just what style to fix.
Or a glamorous image like the Supremes. Some girl groups were produced to sing songs with names like I Want That Boy, which were actually very suggestive for the time. So mainstream girl groups were packaged like the girl groups and artists of today, but just because of the time, the results were not nearly as outrightly sexual. Women gained independence in jobs because of World War II, but after the war ended, women were oppressed yet again. Women were fired from their jobs, and the ideal image of a woman became a housewife in an apron. When the 1960s came around, women got tired of solely being viewed as someone's wife or mother, and began to protest. They protested the 1968 Miss American pageant, started women's centers and clinics, and this all started the second wave of the feminist movement. The first feminist rock band came out in 1970, and they were very famous for the feminist stance. They were called the Chicago Women's Liberation Rock Band, and the group was formed to oppose how women were portrayed by male music artists and to reach out to women and educate about feminism. Although the group was only together for 3 years, they certainly influenced many other female artists. One of the biggest songs in the feminist movement was a song called I Am Woman by Australian singer Helen Reddy. It even became a sort of feminist anthem. In a television performance of the song, Helen Reddy tried to insist that she perform braless and with unshaven legs and armpits, but the producers of the show refused to let her go on the show unshaven, but did allow her to go braless. The best place for a mainstream female artist to be in was in the folk music scene. There, the women were not made up or sexualized the way artists in the pop music genre were. They were more free to look messy, liberated, and undone. The lyrics women sang severely differed in the two genres as well. In pop music, women at the time sang about boys and dresses, while then in the folk music genre, women sang about world peace and politics.